Hello, Fassa Michelle speaking. We help people with addiction and also mental health issues.
Room 2?
Yeah.
I just can't cope.
It's a hard thing to walk into a door and say I need help. And I don't think people realise how hard it is till you have to do it.
People are frightened of being denormalised, segregated, fingers pointed at. We need to work hard on the stigmas surrounding mental health.
Have you had any history of previous suicide attempts?
Suicide is a tragedy, and in most cases it's preventable.
Paddy, can you hear me? Good morning, Fassa. Woman speaking. How may I help you? You say he's in a crisis. How is he feeling?
FASA, the Forum for Action on Substance Abuse, supports anyone in danger. It was the first community-based charity to offer support for substance abuse, self-harm, suicide and mental health under the one roof. Their doors are open to anyone, even if they've been affected by someone else in crisis.
Hello. My name's Roberta from an agency called FASA. I'm the Community Response Officer for Suicide and Self-Harm, and firstly I'd like to offer my condolences on your recent bereavement.
Roberta supports people left behind after someone has taken their own life. As soon as she hears about a suicide, usually through the police or someone in the community, Roberta will contact the family and offer FASA's help.
I was planning maybe just to come out to see you at some stage, and I was wondering maybe would kind of this afternoon be okay? Okay, I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Alright.
I'm going to try and put you through to the crisis team now. What's your first name? 1 second, please, Margaret.
It's a hard one. We're very, very much in turmoil and very low. I'm not lots. It's kind of a very similar picture to every house that I visited. It's the impact of suicide on a family.
I take it must be. I hate answering this because unless it is working on. Good afternoon, FASA Ballywalder.
FASA's newest venture is in Eden Village on the Ards Peninsula.
This is what it started like. Oh. So this is our before. Basically it was a builder's yard, everyone was lying derelict.
FASA's boss Anne is taking Jason White from the local health trust on a guided tour.
It's been funded by volunteers, all volunteer service users. The materials have been donated. You find that people do have so many skills that they don't even sometimes realise they have themselves.
It's of value
no,
until
they see the outcomes of it and they start to see how beneficial it is.
When it's finished, Eden will offer therapy and counselling. But it also hopes to tackle mental health problems associated with rural isolation. A cafe, garden centre and furniture shop will be staffed by clients and volunteers.
This is our furniture store, and this is a wee bookstore.
Many kids that hit you, we do. Well, I wouldn't mean to do it.
It's the confidence of the thing. If they're painting something, they feel, oh, I've achieved something, and they're mixing it, you know, because you think you're painting a chair, but really they're talking to half a dozen people. There's one girl that's down here, June. She came Monday, stayed all day. Came yesterday and I said to her, well, you know, my goodness, what do you do? You're here the day again. Yeah. And she said, yeah, last night was the best sleep I've ever had. I haven't slept like that for years.
I'd sort of given up on humanity. It was like a downward spiral until I just tried to commit suicide.
June tried to take her life a number of times.
About 10 years ago, I was put on a mixture of drugs which have stabilised me, but I still get very, very low. I was moving house and we came here to look at a wee plant, and Anne started explaining about the place and what work they do, and asked me would I like to give it a try. She just touched my heart, really, with how much she cared about human beings, no matter what they'd done. I just felt right away, you know, she understands me, and that was it. That's all it took.
You gonna have a week help you out, or is that?
Yeah, if you come through this way, I'll take you around this way then. More?
I tried with psychiatrists, but I knew those people didn't know really what I was talking about. When you're mentally ill, you're always searching for something, anything, just a wee glimmer of hope, anything that'll help you. And I never ever found it. And I thought, well, this is the last time I'm going to give anything a go.
I just have to put suicide assessment and... Hello, Vasa, Hannah speaking. Okay, thank you very much, Wilma. You're a star. Cheers, bye. I have an initial assessment. His presenting issues are alcohol, mental health, and occasional thoughts that life's not worth living. Sometimes people really do feel like they don't have anything or any form of support. This client has really good family support, so it's important to remind people of the good things in their lives. So now I just need to make an internal referral for trauma and addiction, and then that'll place them on the waiting list to be picked up for that service. Yeah. Boom.
No. Alicia Madden.
In the midst of this chaos, you get some order.
Roberta hosts a weekly support group in Belfast for families coming to terms with the suicide of a loved one.
This week we'll have our sale coming up on Saturday. Who thinks they can make it, Julie?
Yeah.
It's a safe space where people can try to make sense of their loss by talking to others bereaved in the same way.
We'll be here if we can be here.
Okay. That's that bit sorted. Let's begin and welcome some new members around the table.
Tonight, a new family has joined the group.
Well, I'll try and contact Dorothy, you have to go.
Oh. Get this massage, yeah?
You had Indian head massage done before?
No.
I have a wee oil that I would sometimes
Yeah.
use. So the only thing is you're going to go out here with weights.
That's all right. I'll roll it back up again. Aye.
A few characters are going to be here as well. We've got Batman and Robin. We've got two Teletubbies.
Oh, great.
You can talk to me, or
Yeah.
preferably you just close your eyes and have a wee snooze.
There's quite a lot in the group tonight, isn't there? I didn't think there would have been many here with the weather, but Roberta came up to the house after Roy died. She actually was out the day he died, and she had spoke to my daughter, and she said about the group.
Dorothy's son Roy took his life 6 weeks ago.
It's just hard. We just can't understand it. We really can't. No answers, no note, no nothing.
Margaret, what was I going to get there for you?
You're doing something on the cards? Blue.
Dorothy's 3 daughters, Christine, Maggie and Dorothy, have also joined the group.
I heard Dorothy saying the other night she wasn't having a good day today. I just wonder what her mental state's like. She doesn't open up much. She was the one found him.
The images are really hard to go away. Don't think I'll ever go away. From my brother committed suicide, just constantly paranoid about everything. Every night when I go to bed, I go around my house and tie up every blind cord, take away all the dressing gowns, belts, anything that's sitting around, anything that I think that you could choke yourself or for a child. I've never been like that, never.
Something has to be done. There's too many young people losing their lives for nothing. So there is. Over the last couple of months, that's all I've heard.
12 referrals received in today. People that has presented A&E with
an overdose over the weekend. Plus we have 2 clients to ring back to take another 2, so that'll be 14 in total today.
She came to me that day, you know. I was so rude to her. She said she was from Fassa, and I answered her back with, I'll never forget it. It's just a narcissistic, so what are you doing up here? Why did you come up here? Is it just to making sure, like, another one's gone? She just stood there, she didn't leave. And she seemed genuinely upset, like. Nothing ever prepared me for that day, like. And I really hope that, I would pray, like, that people would never have to go through what I had to go through, but I know in my heart that it happens every day.
Do you feel there's hope?
Oh yes, there's hope. I've hope every day that by doing what we do, we can begin to make a difference. To help people to be more understanding, to help people to be more caring, to help people to get back to a grassroots system where people actually care about their neighbour, are concerned enough to stop, take a few minutes and say, right, come on over here, let's have a bit of a yarn.
Struggling with that now?
Eden Village is starting to take shape, and the volunteers building it are beginning to find common ground.
I have to paint too, you know.
Oh dear, you're in grumpy form of day.
I am not.
June's now a regular in the furniture recycling shop.
Smile. I'll go. Why? 'Cause don't like to see you when you're not smiling. Your wee face.
Can't be jolly all the time, June.
Oh, you can't.
She's made friends with fellow volunteer Belle.
Stanley used to say when I got a drink in me, I was awfully polite. And I said, but that's the way I was brought up.
Did you used to drink?
I did.
Like a fish?
No, but I don't drink now. Through choice, I don't drink because I don't like having a hangover.
Would you with cuckoo drinking you, or were you happy?
Michael used to say it was like giving firewater to the Indians. But, nah, yes.
No, would you have been cross?
No grumpy, no, just wild. Party animal.
Were you?
Did you never drink, Belle? Never
Yes.
ever? You did?
No, but I'm only asking you.
And did you drink much, Belle? Did you drink like a fish?
Stop copying me.
Did you drink like a fish? Did you drink right enough?
Yes.
What did you drink?
Vodka and Coke. My daughter died. She took an aneurysm. That's when I was drinking. I was
That's
really...
understandable, but, you know,
But
I
then
can't even imagine what that's like, you know.
Then they just come off it as quick as, you know.
Aye.
My daughter and me was never separated. We were always
Close.
together. You seen one, you seen the other. We were very close.
It must have been even harder on you then.
It was. Like, I've never said that before. Never ever.
As long as it helps you, Belle, it doesn't matter what you say or how you say it, only if it helps you. That's the important thing.
I talk more now since you've been.
Do you think so, Belle?
Yes.
It's maybe because I'm not afraid to talk about, well, most of my problems. You know, and it all, I think it helps you. No? Belle's a very private person. And for her opening up like that, it's out of this world. It's brilliant.
Me and her gets on brave and well. Oh, she's time to listen to, you know. And then she has been through so much that she knows more what you're talking about.
I've learned how to make friends again, and through joking and laughing, and I'm actually healing myself. To me, this is better therapy than anything I've ever had. Just be yourself. If you don't want to talk, don't talk. But eventually you do end up talking to somebody, and wee stories just come out. And the next thing you realise, you're actually talking about things that you couldn't talk about for years. It's so relaxed that sometimes your problems just come out without realising it.
Brian and Davy about?
Has anybody seen Roberta?
Well, no, that's my tea for the night that's in there, which I left behind yesterday. So I'm going to take it tonight. Who is here that is going, sorry, who's not here that's going?
Anybody who's not here, put their hand up.
Anywho?
Anybody who's not here, put their hand up. I got one now.
Yeah.
Dorothy and her daughters are now regulars at Roberta's support group. Talking to other families bereaved by suicide can be a great source of comfort.
I would say I've got over the initial shock, and I'm starting to grieve in my own way. I wouldn't say I'm getting there, but I would say I'm slowly getting there, slowly but surely. I think I would have went to breaking point if I hadn't met Roberta, but I didn't know about this group, and I wouldn't have knew if Shatney came to my house. So I don't think I could have coped without it, and that's the truth.
It totally takes your mind off it. You see, when I go home on a Tuesday night, I seem to be nice and relaxed for some reason.
Two things will reflect the diversity within the group.
Right.
Okay.
I know everyone knows that what's happened, but no one questions you or no one asks you. It's just, if you want to talk about it, you talk about it. If you don't, you don't.
And we're going to have a prize, okay? So there's a prize for, all right? This is up the ante here. Probably one of the things that I hear most commonly said is, it was just good to know that there were other people who had been there, and I was able to come along and see how they were actually managing to go on and to live and to kind of get back to something normal in their life.
So this woman was supposed to bring these flowers up. I got them. Boo!
FASA have built a memorial garden for families to remember their loved ones.
I've sort of got the job as a gardener. You know, I don't know why. I don't know how I got landed with it, but at the moment I don't mind gardening.
Brian joined the group 2 years ago, after his daughter Charlene took her life.
All these wee butterflies here, we painted them. My daughter has a butterfly. My granddaughter has a butterfly for her mother. And the rest of the group is the same. They painted these all themselves. That's actually my granddaughter's one.
Do you think she understood the significance?
No. She still doesn't understand her mother. She was only 3, so she asks about her mother, but she's in heaven. None of us want to be here, but unfortunately, the way things happen in life, we all come together to bereavement, you know. But we didn't expect this sort of bereavement.
Roberta's clients are holding a spring sale to raise funds.
He looks really cool.
She's got a special task for Dorothy and her daughters.
Right, girls, where is she? Me in this stupid weedy hat, like talking to you.
I know, you're a gag.
Anyhow, I'll tell you what it is you know out in the garden, we've got all the different pieces up on the walls and whatever. So we want to know, would you like to take this heart to Mark Roy?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then it can go up on the wall?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's your part?
Absolutely. Okay, yeah. And then we take care of it.
You can do whatever you want. You can, that's a blank canvas.
You can get your paint.
So then what we ask is that people don't put a name on it or a date.
No, put a name on it. No. So what they want is a stop crack. Here.
Got one here.
So we do ours and put it on now.
How do you get there?
I don't know. There's no answer to that. I've asked that question over and over and over again. Maggie, it's good to crack. Thanks. We're all right. Just trying to explain to her what this is, and she got upset. I mean, like, I have moments, you know, like times. Like on a Tuesday, he died on a Tuesday. A certain time on the clock, I kept looking at it and looking at it because I knew he was in the house at that time. And then a couple of hours later, I look and I go, I'll never see him again.
But it is nice the way they've done it, like I really think it's nice. I think
You just have to live with your memories, I say. Just remember the good times and the fun we had with him from when he was a baby.
lovely.
Yeah.
How you doing? Morning. Okay, Lorraine.
Adrian's a former FASA client. He's just started a government Steps to Work scheme at Eden Village. For the next 6 months, he'll help bring the new sanctuary to life.
I owe a lot to FASA. So I've had a second bite of the cherry. That's just priceless.
Adrian hasn't touched a drink for 4 years. It's his dream to work for FASA one day.
I'd love to get into the line of work where I could be helping others with issues similar of what I went through. I had a daughter that died. She was 7.5 so just didn't know, like a lot of people, you just don't know how to cope with that, how to deal with that. I remember the first thing in the morning drinking, being sick, drinking, just drinking and drinking, you know. There was one time and I actually wet myself and I didn't even realise. I just felt worthless. But just by chance I got talking to a social worker. She actually gave me FASA's phone number. There were no stigmas, no labels. That really made me feel good. We all need help from time to time and there's no shame in that at all.
What would you like?
Coffee with just sweet drop of sugar, please.
Okay. Milk?
Oh, yes.
Brian hasn't been at the group for nearly a month.
See you then. Bye.
Roberta's invited him in for a one-to-one chat.
Haven't seen you for a week or two?
No, I haven't been for 3 or 4 weeks. I haven't been down.
What's been wrong? What's been happening
Well,
with
just a bad time, you know what I mean? Just chill out for a wee while, you know what I mean? Just chill out.
Brian's concerned about his granddaughter, who came to live with him after her mum died.
Monday she means, Granda, I was crying at school today. I said, what are we crying for? She says, crying for my mummy. I said, I was crying today too, which is true. Because I was mowing the garden, I remember Charlene standing on the lawnmower.
Yeah, you're pushing
her
her
and I pushed her along the lawnmower and I said, so was I, Emily, you're allowed to cry, love. Yes. All right, Granda, no, I shan't.
And that's a healthy thing, not to let her bottle it up, Brian, you know that.
What I say to tell her is, she's in school and I feel for her because she sees all her mummies, all her wee friends, and her mummy picking her up.
She's missing her mummy.
Missing her mummy now, more so, because she's starting to get old, you know. I don't know what Charlene said there before.
Yes, it happened.
I mean, nobody will ever know it.
No.
Nobody will ever know. She made her hugged her to bits and I love you, sweetheart, and
yes.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Nobody will ever know it. My heart goes out to her. Heart goes out to her.
It seems like that she's more missing her mummy than actually the way her mummy died. But ultimately, you will be the one there when she's crying into your pillow at night. And you know that there's always a group you can come into and have a chat with myself or with other ones. That's your stuff, all right?
All right, love, thank you.
I've identified some issues and I'll continue to talk on a one-to-one all around that issue of, you know, how he copes with his granddaughter facing up to the loss of her mum. Cheerio, Brian.
Right,
thank
cheers.
you. Bye-bye.
Over there. Please.
Please, very please.
Please should be straight out of your mouth. Give me time. Double chicken. Pardon?
Pardon? What are they doing with tobacco, Rob?
Thank you, boys.
Is there anything else?
You can go to
Never ask Belle that question, never, Adrian.
Building at Eden is gathering momentum.
What we need now is another 3,200.
Work has now begun on the coffee shop.
Take that away, mate. Nothing to see here, men at work.
Upstairs, local carpenter William is donating his skills to get the therapy rooms up and running.
You want anything in the chipper?
Just a burger. There's been friends of mine, you see, who've been caught up with drugs and suicides and all that same type of thing, you know, and they think there's nothing in life. And they might as well end it all. At the time, they think that's it. They don't realise at the time the devastation that leaves with families. The heartache that's left behind goes a lot deeper. A lifetime would not erase it. So it's getting a message out that there is help. If we can pass that on, if that helps one person or one family, well, I feel it's worth it. You know?
Adrian has started working alongside Brian, who also struggles with alcohol abuse. He's just started a journey of recovery with FASA and has been sober for 10 days.
I don't know if there's any more. To tell the truth, I thought it was going to be damn sight easier than what it is.
It does take time.
Well, I want to change, I have to.
You know, exactly, because what I discovered is there's so much to go on for, Brian. And I've realised that there with my family and life and doing something with it. So don't be getting frustrated.
I need to get that in perspective and say, start from here and just move on with it. Whatever's happened has happened.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the old saying about making the best of a situation. It can be done, and draw a line in the sand.
Morning.
Morning, Brian. Oh, I already said. Thank you.
What gave you the strength to come here? What made you walk in them gates that day? I remember you coming in like...
I was very sort of nervous and sheepish, I think.
As we all were when we came.
I just see it, you know, I can't keep going on the way I was, like, and the way I am.
Yeah.
Nobody judges down here, that's the good thing about here.
Everybody's had problems and they know they've been judged themselves, so they're not going to judge. That's, I think that helps you talk to them, not like.
You know, sometimes you have to tell the truth.
I know.
And that's what I'm doing now, I have to tell the truth. I'm 38 now, I've drunk pretty much 30 years.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times, see the nail guns, see a bad temper, I just bang, straight through.
Oh
Idiot.
God, Brian.
But then, a few drinks and falls, you didn't care. I'm not that stupid now. I think maybe I started to wise up a wee bit.
That's the start of your recovery, like. You're starting to talk about your past and, you know, talking to your partner and things like that there, and it's all, it will come together.
The thing is, see Sharon?
Yeah.
Sharon needs help now.
Yeah.
Because she is basically at the end of her rope. She keeps saying to me, yeah, you're sorting your problems out. What about mine?
Yes.
I think Sharon would be good to talk to you because
well, not a problem.
She needs somebody other than myself.
I'll tell her to come down. I wouldn't have a problem talking to her, Brian, at all, honestly.
There's got to be an easy way of putting these in.
You're Brian's partner, yes?
I am she.
Take a wee seat. Do you want to sit in that wee soft seat?
Well, take a soft seat any day of the week.
Brian's persuaded Sharon to drop in with June for a chat.
Did you get support? Have you support?
No.
Nothing? You've just been struggling on your own?
Mm-hmm. But as a partner of someone who has an addiction, you have to cope.
But you do have to look after yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important.
I should be thinking just about getting Brian back on his feet.
No, you shouldn't, just because you can't spend your whole life trying to make him better. It doesn't work like that.
It has to
You
be
have to have your own life too.
Mm-hmm. There was one time I was trying to help him up onto the settee, and I got a kick in the eye for my efforts. The next morning, how'd that happen? I said, you kicked me. I didn't, you're telling lies. I says, Brian, I didn't do this to myself.
Yeah.
That's how much you've drank, that you don't know what you're doing. I got to the stage the other day and all I could do was lie in the bed and cry.
Yeah.
And then you screw a smile on your face when you go out the
That's
door.
right, you do. You do. Come down here, you know, anything. You don't have to come down and do anything. Come down and sit, have a yarn, or just come down and sit. You know, you maybe look at something, you know, you'll say, I wouldn't mind doing that. And away you go. That's just the way it happens. Yeah.
Hi, is Jill there? Chris is in the waiting room for her. All right, thank you, bye. Monday is my busiest time because you get a lot of people drink a lot at the weekend and they think that they want to end their life. So they end up in hospital, and it's, you know, and then obviously the hospitals would ask them to get in touch with us and things like that. Sorry, excuse me. Hello, Fast and Michelle speaking.
You don't. Somebody answer the phone, please. There should be Sam up there. Good afternoon, Fassa.
Brian has relapsed. He's having an emergency meeting with Sam, a FASA recovery worker who's on hand for more intensive support when needed.
The end game's to give up a drink.
Yeah.
You know, completely. That's the end game, but I have no idea how long that takes, you know.
Yeah. And what do you think you need to do then?
I need to cut out spirits. It's for insanity, it's for Sharon's sanity and all that. I just don't have a normal life.
Yeah. If you notice any triggers that you feel like you are going to need a drink, you can come here and talk to us.
Oh,
if there's anything at all that we can do to help support you, things are starting to fall into place.
Yeah. It's just to keep coming down here and working away.
Yeah.
It's just changing the time of something, but I think there's something else that's maybe happened that's eating at him. Well, how much are your keyboards?
A bag? No, don't worry about a bag. You don't need a bag for goodness.
Is that lavender?
Don't need a bag.
I think he just needs a wee bit more help.
But he's quite opened up since he come here, I tell you. Because she is good with him.
He'll get there.
He'll get there too.
Wherever there is, he'll get there.
Get one. Right? Cheerio, Wanda. Push the handle up. Push the handle up. It's not rocket science.
See, we died, yeah, but who's going to do this?
I'm sure there'll be somebody.
No, they'll die with us.
Right, girlie. Is that young Dorothy? Yes. I know your wee voice. And you're doing okay yourself? Yep. All right.
Roberta's checking in with Dorothy and her daughters.
I was ringing her there and it's not answering.
They haven't been at the group for the past few weeks.
Right, that's okay. It would lift her to get out with everybody as well, so it would give her a bit of a laugh. Okay, bye-bye. Speak soon. Bye-bye, love. Bye. Well, it's in very early stages. I mean, they're still finalising and facing a lot of the bills and the, you know, the stuff around the funeral and, you know, settling accounts and stuff like that. It's still very much early days for them. And I often think people say, you know, the first year there's all the milestones. There's first birthday, first anniversary. There's the first Easter, first Christmas, you know, first summer holiday without them. And they are important milestones, but yet I hear families saying time and time again that the second year was even harder. And I think it's the absence of those milestones.
That's right.
That realisation hit in the second year that this was it was final, you know, and that they weren't coming back, they weren't going to be there. Okay, everybody, come on over here. Just to give thanks, just as a wee celebration of life for everybody that we know in our hearts, where we have a wee name, and just to remember them as they were on this lovely summer's evening when they'd have been happy and happy. It's on fire.
189.
Where would you get good one?
We'll get some. Them Chinese people are not making the way we used to.
Brian's back on track, working alongside Adrian again.
One thing I haven't had in years, I don't think I ever had, it's actually a wee bit of hope for the future. Right there for a window.
I relapsed many times, but on the way I learned from it. There was something different about the relapse every time. You really have to start digging deeper and deeper in order to come through the other side.
Viv's up there. Hello, Fossabally Walter.
Sharon's taken June's advice and is getting a taste of Eden for the day.
Right, thanks very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Can I do anything to her?
Certainly, if you want, you can get a brush and stay in the chair there. Varnish the chair.
You've done a lovely job on this.
Ah, it's nice, isn't it?
Am I doing this all right?
Yeah.
Well, if you'd heard what I come off with on Friday at the crocheting and everybody started laughing at it, my holes are too big. No, when you're crocheting, no, between your wee 3 shells.
Denise neared that problem last night.
All I said was my holes are too big. And the woman beside me said, you know, you can get an operation.
Give a couple of stitches back.
For a couple of crocheting stitches.
Oh.
You two all right?
I don't know if we'll ever be all right again.
Work on the cafe has finally finished.
I promise I'll not drop them. If there's any left, maybe.
No, I'm only moving this over, so.
After months of hard graft by clients and volunteers, the doors are officially open.
You're open now, that's it?
And it looks nice, like it is lovely. Nice. This looks like somebody came in and fitted it out. It shows you what people power can do.
The Ards Peninsula now has a pioneering new sanctuary.
It's becoming like a home from home nearly, where it's like something from years ago where everybody all done creative stuff. And maybe that's a wee bit of what we need to get back to as well. You know, maybe the life's too fast.
Some of FASA staff have cleared their diaries to help out for the day.
It's lovely to see what they've achieved, you know. I think it's gone beyond what anybody's expectations were. Brilliant.
You come in here, you don't know if you're a staff member, a member of the public, whether you're a volunteer or you're a service user. It's such an amazing environment for people recovering because nobody knows and nobody really cares either. They're just getting on treating everybody the same.
Absolutely wonderful. And you haven't stopped today.
Former FASA clients have also dropped in to show their support.
You really deserve that, the whole lot of you. Because they're brilliant.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't say enough, Anne. Couldn't say enough. But,
you're an amazing person, aren't you?
well, no, I'm not an amazing person
really
at all.
You really are.
No, I'm not. I just found the right people at the right time.
Sandra's a former nurse. She became depressed when she retired and took an overdose.
People look on attempted suicide or suicide as people who are not all there, but you are all there. It's just a matter of your thinking becomes twisted. I know that I could go into FASA at any time and say, I need to talk to somebody. And that to me is absolutely fantastic.
See you later.
See you later.
The main key issue here is that if somebody walks in here and sits there all day, because they're isolated at home, they feel alone, they don't have family or they don't know how to get out, I would love them to sit there all day, and then somehow our staff will pick our time with them and pick up with them. There's so much activity there, so this is a way of engagement.
Good afternoon, Vanessa Wilma speaking. How may I help you? Okay. Right. Is it in relation to substance abuse, or is he mental health issues as well? Drug related, yeah. Cocaine, methadone and cannabis. We can take a referral from you to get him linked in with FASA services. I'll pass it on to one of the team and ask them to give her a call. Okay, thank you. Thanks, bye-bye.
That's you. You hold my bookie for me, baby?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
FASA's preparing for World Suicide Prevention Day, an annual event held across the globe.
They could leave it in there. Their badge in the window.
Roberta is chairing the steering group for this year's Belfast event.
Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
How are you?
Hello.
The aim is to raise awareness, as well as remember loved ones who've died in the past.
Our families are beginning to feel that it's not doing what it said. It's a private memorial service for those people that have been bereaved. And I think we have missed somewhere along the line the element of raising the awareness to the people who are not affected, because nobody knows tomorrow who may become affected. And we all know that sitting here, sadly.
Everybody should be included. You don't have to be bereaved by suicide, you know. You're there to prevent it.
Yeah. So breaking down those barriers and those stigmas around mental health and around suicide is what World Suicide Prevention Day aims to do. And to say, you know, you haven't been affected by this issue, and I hope you will never be, but if you are, how will you cope with it? Or if you're faced with a family member or loved one in crisis and they need help and support, who will you turn to and where will you go? All right, Esther, love, good to see you again, you too.
In the months ahead, the steering group have agreed to meet regularly to plan an event that will meet everyone's needs.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye, Julia. Bye.
Have you had any previous history of suicide attempts? When was the last time you done that? Right. Have you ever heard of Lifeline? What happens is if we're closed, they're open 24/7 basically, and you know we work basically 9 to 5, and then if you're ever in, like it was last night, you know, you're going to need help after hours. Okay, so can you actually go and get a pen now and I'll give you that number?
With Eden Village now up and running, Anne has turned her attention to a new pioneering initiative.
Morning, chickadees. Adrian, I need to speak to you.
It's bad. It's really bad. You've been such a bad boy, Adrian. Money joking you.
Anne wants June and Adrian to be part of it.
Do you know why? In Northern Ireland at the minute, there's no place that if somebody was really at risk of suicide or had thoughts of suicide or felt really emotional during the night, there's nowhere to go other than go to an A&E hospital. We're thinking of opening it overnight from 9 at night to 9 the next morning.
FASA is hoping to open an overnight crisis centre for people feeling suicidal. If they can get the funding and somewhere to house it, it will be the first of its kind in Northern Ireland.
We would like people to be in it, not just staff to staff it, but we think that what would be good, it's people who've been through problems in their own lives who help staff it. I just want to see would you like to be involved with it?
Yeah. Well, you do not ask me that.
We were talking to June too, and June saying that she'd be happy to help out too.
I would just love to help somebody else.
So that is like nearly people going to the next level?
To me, that would still be a stepping stone for me, because it would be helping me, making me feel worthy almost.
People who've been through themselves are the experts in helping other people do things like that.
It makes it easier for the person to talk to you because they don't have to try and find the words to explain what's wrong with them.
Ordinary people helping ordinary people.
Yeah.
No stigmas, no anything.
No.
Yeah.
It's amazing the benefit somebody can get just by talking to somebody.
So you're happy to be involved?
Oh, you're a good soul. Thank you. Lovely.
Good.
You're a good soul. You really are.
Happy days.
Happy days
We're
indeed.
going onwards and upwards.
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you.
I have tissues there. It's just seeing his face, you know, it's what he's been looking for. It's strong on me.
That's a bit about you too. Is this what you've been looking for?
It is, aye. It is very much. I think it is. You know.
You are at a different place than where you were before. When you came in at first, it was you were very meek.
Aye.
Do you know, even in how you presented yourself?
I had no confidence at all. I have a bit of confidence now, and I'm actually encouraging myself to get more confident.
Yeah.
You know, telling myself that I can do it. Definitely.
Really
It's changed
do.
my life. Definitely.
There are only a handful of overnight crisis centres in the UK. Anne has brought June and Adrian to visit one in Manchester.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya, I'm good. How are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm Anne.
Oh, lovely and cosy and warm.
The staff is made up from professionals and people in recovery.
Can I get anyone drinks?
Oh, yes, please.
Coffees, teas. Thank you.
No, you're all right. Sit down for a bit. It's fine.
There we go. That's lovely.
Hello, good evening, the Sanctuary. Ali speaking. Hello. Try not to get too upset now. You're not a failure at all. Do you want my honest opinion on that? I don't think you should try and do it on your own. I think we all need a little bit of help somewhere along the line.
It's quite frightening, but that woman just fell into it so naturally and easy and...
You're not in training.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But you're not in training yet.
All right.
If you were trained, you could take the phone calls. Do you know what I mean? And if you felt that there was something there that was a bump, you still have your coordinator, your sport worker there, and you learn it as you go, and you're not on your own. But it is about getting the skills in the first place.
Was that your wee front door?
As the night wears on, a man calls in crisis. The sanctuary workers intervene in an attempt to keep him safe.
It's not somewhere for someone to come and just sleep it off. It's about working with them to put them in a better place so that it doesn't end up whether at A&E or in a police cell or taking their own life.
How do you feel, you know, helping other people?
Perfect job, man. That's lovely. You know, I used to drink a lot and, you know, I lost a lot of jobs and I thought, well, that's all wasted now. I wasted like 15, 20 years of my life. Do you know what I mean? Just struggling. But when I saw that I could use that experience, do you know what I mean, that knowledge, it's a benefit now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can tell other people.
It's very, very important because you think that you're the only one in the world out there and nobody cares and there's nobody to talk. I didn't know who to talk to.
Yeah.
It was just by chance this here it happened.
It'll be really exciting if you can get something up and running around it.
Yeah,
Because it is a
definitely.
massive, you know, we do expect people to be poorly 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Which is bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
They don't want to walk.
June, you going to do anything?
No. Months straight.
Just thought there'd be a conversation, will you?
I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed.
June's depression has resurfaced.
I haven't really had too many bad days from up in here, I think, probably because my mind's more occupied. But sort of having a bad day today. I'm not getting peace to have a bad day, if that makes any sense. It's very, very hard to put into words. But normally I wouldn't bother putting it into words. I would just clear off and go to bed. And don't deal with it.
Just do the other side. What does that look like? Is that any better looking?
I think it looks good. Bale does help me, but I just need to work a few things out in my head where I'm at the minute, and I suppose nobody can do that, only me. I felt like I'm home a couple of times a day, but I'm going to stick it out and try harder.
Sit down here. Because you have to sit down to get this organised.
Me?
Yes, because there's different. That's yours or one sugar. That's a strong butter.
By the time her daughter Megan drops in for a weekly visit, she's feeling better.
I was a bit stressed today, my head's sore, but I'm alright now. A little better for seeing you. I was saying, Bill, that the way I used to deal with my problems was just go to bed, took diazepam and covered my head with a duvet. I didn't deal with them at all, so I'm trying now to deal with it instead of just blocking it out.
I get upset when I start talking about stuff like that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why, love?
Because...
Did you have a bad childhood with me?
I don't think it was bad.
I didn't want you to be unhappy, love.
I wasn't unhappy. I wasn't unhappy. I just remember things that weren't nice. There's things that I don't understand why you did them, but I don't think I'll ever will understand why you did them.
Do you want to ask me? Maybe it'll help you too, love.
But when you were, like, when you did things, was that you trying to deal with it?
You mean trying to kill myself?
Yes.
No, that... I believe that you would be happier if I wasn't here. Oh, come on, love, don't. We'll not talk about it. It's okay. It's okay. We'll not talk about it. Don't be getting upset, love.
No one ever offered me any help, like, when I was growing up.
Exactly. Well, that's what that FAS is about. Helps everybody. You don't have to have a problem to come here. You could be a family member of somebody that has a problem and you don't understand it, unless you've been through it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
I don't think that other people ever will understand. I think
No.
it's more about coming to terms with it.
That's right. As long as you know that I'm in a better place now.
Yeah.
I'm in a good place now. And I just want you to be happy and have a good, normal life. Well, as normal as you can be. That's a girl. You're my love. That's a good girl. All right. I couldn't help what was going on. I was sick. It's because it's like a hidden illness. It's so hard to explain to people. When you're in your right mind, you're thinking logically. But to me, I was thinking logically. It was only as I got better, I realised I actually wasn't. I was being illogical, saying, you know, you're better off dead. But I know as a mother myself now, if your child done that, that's not the fact, you know. Everybody doesn't live happy ever after and have a better life, and you know, but
I see that now.
Yeah, yeah. People really need to know that, you know.
Okay, folks, we have loads of activities and it's all for World Suicide Prevention Day.
FASA and the other agencies have organised a carnival on the front lawn at Belfast City Hall for World Suicide Prevention Day.
Life is about ups and downs, and today hopefully is one of the up days. For most of them, it'll be another wee leg on the journey of recovery.
Charlene's always in my head. Charlene never leaves my head. She done it, and there's a reason why she done it. Why did she not come and talk to me, or talk to her mother, or ring her friends? I tried my best.
why. But I will never get answers, never. So I have to just learn that he's in a better place and he's happy. So, sorry.
I do expect that the families will be emotional, but I also know that they're growing resilience in each and every one of them, and that they'll go on beyond today with a lovely memory.
I think he's looking down on us, but I think he'd be very proud of us. We just have to take each step at a time to get there, and we will get there and remember him with pride.
This young man there, Del Tribulate, who's enjoyed me. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you.
See you later, Mel.
See you later.
VASA has found a building in Belfast for the overnight crisis centre it's hoping to open. June and Adrian have been invited to view it, along with VASA staff.
Hey, yeah. How are you?
Just want me to show you around?
This weekend tour would be great.
All right, okay.
I think now, because I've got that opportunity, a wee doubt sort of coming over me. Can I do this?
Hello.
But you can't be swallowed up by thinking like that all the time. It's keeping that positive focus, which is very, very important.
No, what we were thinking was for people presenting the NE or whatever, you know, they can come here and it'll be like a safe place for people to go.
And there is even an office place at the minute. It's quite still like homely feel, isn't there? You know, it's surreal that somebody puts so much faith and trust in you. It's just the life of hard knocks that has brought me here, and that's what's pushing me forward and helping me to understand other people going through the same thing. It's fantastic. It's just...
The more you have a relationship with somebody, the more you can impact on their behaviours or their confidence or their self-esteem.
Great.
Do you want to see anywhere else? Are you happy enough?
No, that's great. That's excellent.
You just want to go now. You just want to start helping people.
How rewarding is the work?
It's just about living and helping people. And we're all on a journey, we're just at different places.
Hello, VASA, Michelle speaking.
For details of organisations which offer advice and support, go online to bbc.co.uk/actionline or call the BBC Action Line to hear recorded information on 08000 566 787. Calls are free from most landlines. Some networks and mobile operators will charge for these calls, and lines are open 24 hours a day.